Hello there, my friends. Welcome back to SoulTree Meditation. If you are new here, welcome. You can join me regularly for content regarding meditation, energy, manifestation, and the expansion of your consciousness. So today we are talking about polarity and how that relates to manifestation. So we can look at the metaphysical concept of polarity as a continuum that constantly exists between positive and negative, with 0 point sitting in the middle. So an example of a continuum would be hot and cold, or light and dark. Those are just two examples of how a concept that exists can run on a continuum with both sides existing at the same time. Every single concept has a continuum, with a 0 point being in the middle. So you can look at the negative side of something, or you can look at the positive side of something. Both aspects of that concept exist at the same time. Because there are multiple and infinite timelines of reality running at the same time, it is possible for one side of that spectrum and everything in between, all the way to the other side of the spectrum, to exist at the same time. So what does this have to do with manifestation? Most of us are trained to look at the negative end of a polarity of a concept, or better put, the lack of something. We can use money as an example for this. Say that you want to manifest a lot of money. If your attention to the topic of money is predominantly existing on the positive end of the polarity, meaning that you believe that you are capable of creating a lot of money, you constantly replay scenarios in your head of you having a lot of money, or you see money in a positive light in general, you are going to be able to call in that manifestation much easier than if you were always sitting at the negative end of the polarity. So in terms of manifestation, no matter what you are trying to manifest into your reality, you are always wanting to entertain concepts, ideas, beliefs, and thought patterns that exist at the positive end of that polarity for that concept, okay? It's actually very simple, but what gets in the way of our manifestations is that most of us have been trained or programmed to pay attention to the lack of what we want, or the lack of something in our reality, okay? So if you're wanting to manifest money, if you're wanting to manifest love, whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest, if you continually pay attention to the lack of that thing in your reality, meaning you're entertaining the negative end of that polarity, it can only show up like that in your reality, because your hologram simply agrees with the energy that you are putting out there. Whatever side of the polarity that you decide to put your attention on predominantly, the hologram will say, yes, this energy is in existence. You're paying attention to the lack of this thing, so we're going to show you the lack of this thing everywhere. Or you're paying attention to the positive end of this thing, so we're going to show you that it exists everywhere. Okay? So it is actually matching your energy up with the positive end of the polarity of something that is going to make it easier to bring it into your existence. And this is where deprogramming and really paying attention to your belief systems is a tricky concept, because unconsciously or subconsciously, you may be programmed to see the lack of something, depending on how you were programmed as a child and depending on what you were raised to believe in terms of your family structure. Okay, so this is where programming and reprogramming is very, very important when it comes to wanting to bring something into your reality that you don't believe that you can get. Okay, so that means really paying attention to the stories that you are replaying in your head. If you are constantly entertaining conversations about having the lack of something, if you are constantly around people who believe in the lack of something, you will only see that proof of that lack everywhere. The universe can only respond to your attention. Whatever side of the polarity that you decide to give your attention to is what will expand in your reality. Because when you pay attention to something, the universe can only give you more of it. Your hologram is a reflection of everything that you are holding within yourself. So if you are constantly entertaining negative ideas, and this is for anything, this is for any concept, this can be about love, this can be about money, this can be about certain situations in your life, this can be about a victim mentality, this can be about sickness or health. All possibilities exist at the same time. It's essentially like a buffet of creation, and you get to choose from that buffet what it is you want to experience. So really, it's entirely up to you what you are choosing to experience, but you have to actively make that choice to experience that thing. If you keep talking about the lack of something in your reality, that's all you're going to experience. If you keep talking about the abundance of something in your reality, that is all you are going to experience as well. So the topic of polarity can really be expanded by talking about our attention in general. There are so many concepts, there are so many ideas, and there are so many timelines in our reality that are constantly fighting for our attention. And if you take a good look at it, you will notice that these concepts are always trying to brainwash you into the negative polarity. They're always trying to tell you that there is a lack of health, a lack of money, a lack of stability, a lack of something in your reality. And if you allow your attention to be drawn to that negative polarity and agree by saying, you're right, that is my reality, you will manifest that in your life. So we have really seen that in general as of recently with the constant messages of the lack of health. There is a thing out there that is going to make you sick, and you have to do these things. You have to abide by these things because there's this thing that's going to make you sick. And if you agree with that, right, we are looking at the polarity of health and lack of health. If you continually agree with the story that yes, there is a lack of health, yes, there is a lack of this thing in my reality, you will inevitably manifest a sickness because it can only agree with you. The hologram said, yes, you are choosing to entertain this reality. Yes, you are choosing to entertain this. Here you go. In a sense, your wish is always granted. So whatever you are trying to manifest, you really want to pay close attention to what you are doing with your thoughts and what you are doing with your attention, okay? Keep your attention close. Keep your attention in check because it is your most precious resource. It is what you use to choose what to bring into your reality. Now, let's talk about 0 point for a second. In between the not having and the having, or the negative and the positive, there is the 0 point. And this is actually, in metaphysics, where we manifest from. This can be looked at as the heart chakra as well. I do have other videos on my channel that discuss 0 point, so if you're interested in learning more about that, please go to my Manifestation Talks playlist to see more about that. But simply, it is a neutral standpoint. It is not, I don't have this thing. It is not, I do have this thing. It is more of a space of open, trusting, neutral standpoint. Okay, so we are not feeling negative, we are not feeling positive, we are feeling completely neutral. This is a completely surrendered state which can be manifested through the practice of meditation predominantly. It is through this state that we can actually really bring everything that we're wanting to experience into creation. However, you want to be really putting your attention on the positive end of what you are trying to manifest, and then bringing yourself to 0 point on a regular basis while avoiding the lack mentality as much as you can, okay? So I really hope that this was clear. Please remembering that all possible experiences and timelines of existence exist all at once, because there is no time, so everything is available right now, and you always have a choice. You can choose to tap into the reality of the lack of the thing you want to manifest, or the reality of the abundance of the thing that you want to manifest. It is entirely up to you. Where you're placing your attention is extremely important. So again, just to recap, you can place your attention on the lack of having what you want, or the having of what you want, and really tap into the feeling of that thing, and the hologram will have no choice but to reflect what it is you are putting your attention on. So be very careful about where you put your attention, because it will manifest in your reality. It is not biased. It can only reflect you. If you do find that you struggle with belief systems and programming from childhood that is telling you that you have a lack of something in your head, you want to constantly change those stories as much as you can. You want to constantly change those stories around in your head. So if the lack of something comes up in your reality, like I can't manifest love, I can't manifest money, or some other limiting standpoint, do your best to say these affirmations and write stories out for yourself and constantly play them over in your head, because the momentum of switching those belief systems into the positive reality is going to really help you to bring your set point closer to that positive end of the polarity, so that you're able to see those results in your environment. So I really, really hope that this was helpful. I do offer one-on-one coaching as well as manifestation courses if you're looking to dive deeper into manifesting what it is that you would like to experience in your personal reality. And this is where I leave you. So I will see you again on the next video. Much love.